Your business can buy you a car, a land, and do all the great things in life if you allow it. Today we'll be talking about how you can uncover the secrets of how you can price your products and make maximum profit. Let's jump in. So, when we want to talk about pricing your products, we first talk about value. I would not go into pricing without talking about value. What value do you bring to the table? What are you offering your customers? Are you doing something different? Or are you a copycat? Do you just go and copy what your competitors do and you want them to pay you more? Before you even think about pricing products, you should ask yourself, what extra value am I bringing to the table? What am I doing to make my target audience choose me over my competitor? Yeah, this is very important. After you've communicated your value in the quality of your products, your customer service, your packaging, your product style, your delivery, and all that, then we can talk about pricing. See, I know you buy orange juice. The difference between orange juice and raw orange is the value. They transformed the orange, added some other things. Orange worth 200 naira can be used in making that juice of 1,000, but you buy it for 1,000 because it tastes better. They have added value to that orange. It's no more the bland orange. Do you understand? After value, you talk about good product. Is your product actually good? Before you price your product, if you want to buy land with your business, you want to build houses with your business, your product has to be good. Because a bad product can only sell once. If you sell a bad product for me, I would buy once and I would not buy again. This week I am using this particular person, this particular vendor. I have about 5 weeks from that vendor. Why? Because I went the first time. I loved it. He gave me warranty, but I've been using it. This thing makes sense. So I needed something good again. I went back. Served the purpose. I needed something good again. I went back. So if it was a bad product, that one purchase is the end. I would never go back again. But because it is a good product, I'm like, okay, this is nice. I went back. In fact, I have referred about 2 or 3 people to the person. Why? Because it is a good product. So if your product is bad, how do you make the best profits? You would just be making one-off profit, one-off purchase. That person will come and buy once. The person is never going to come back again, which is very bad for business. So make sure your product is good. Make sure quality check and your product is on point. Next point is have a pricing formula. The reason why a lot of people would not make it in the business is because they do not have a pricing formula. All they do is, oh, I bought it for 7,000. I think I can sell it for 8K. If I sell it for 8K, I will send away all my competitors that are selling for 10K. So a lot of people would come to me and they just leave my competitors, and before you know it, I will sell a lot. And in that way, I'll buy a car. You are deceiving yourself. You have just 500 followers on Instagram and you want to make profit of 500 and you want to buy a car with it. I understand turnovers. I know people that do turnovers. They have about 50,000 following on Instagram. So they have the crowd that will buy, even if they are making 500 naira off a purchase. They have the numbers, but you do not have the numbers. But you're thinking in your head that you want to do turnover. When it is clear that it is not possible because the numbers you have, there's no way you want to turn them into. You cannot turn over. Have a pricing formula. Don't just say, oh, I'll buy for 6,000. From that 1,000 you added as profit, you did not consider your data, you did not consider transportation, you did not consider packaging, you did not consider all these things. So at the end, you actually added 200 naira. And you know that it's not even like you make sales every day, you make sales every other day. How do you want to flourish using this kind of method? There's no way. You have to have a pricing formula. What is a pricing formula? It's a formula that helps you come up with the price of your product to give you the best profit. So some people use 50% to price their products after they've added overhead costs, data rent, advertising budget, and all that. They add 50%. Some people do 100%. Some people do 70%. I would not tell you what I do, but I'll tell you that you should make money with your food chest. Some people, I've heard people say, how do I want to buy this thing for 10K and sell for 15K? I'm feeling bad. Repeat after me. I'm in business to make money. I am not going to feel bad for making profit. You should not feel, if you feel bad for making profit, you will not make profit. You should not feel bad. This is a business. You're running a business. This is not a charity organization. You are providing a solution. As I said, know your value. You are giving them a solution to their problem. So if you are feeling bad for solving a problem, it's on you. It's not on me. Okay? So have a pricing formula and stick with it. Before you price, here are the important things you should consider. You consider rent if you have a physical store. You consider transportation to bring your goods to you or to send them out. You consider advertising rates. You consider packaging. Do you use paper bag or nylon bag? How much does it cost? You consider freebies. Do you do free gift on first order? You should consider that before you make your pricing. Consider clearing and you consider shipping fee. After all these things have been factored in, then you use your pricing formula and you price with that. You should ask before you price is what is the worst thing that can happen? What's the worst thing? Like now, something happened 2022. Dollar rate was jumping up. There was about 3 or 4 months. The dollar rate was just moving up. Dollar to naira. I mean, I'm recording this video from Nigeria, so I am talking about in Nigeria. So exchange rate, dollar to naira rate, kept increasing. It was increasing like it was almost every month. Then something happened to a lot of business owners. They bought something for 10,000, they sold it for 11,000 or 11,005. By the time they were going back to buy, there's an increase in price because there's increase in dollar and clearing fee. They are now buying it for 12,005. That is 1,000 naira loss. They are now running at loss. That is because before they priced, they did not ask what is the worst thing that can happen. Before I price, I asked myself, what is the worst thing that can happen? What is the worst increase that can happen that would affect me, that would make me run at loss? So I'll price with the focus of that worst thing. See, I'm a very optimistic person, so I'm not being negative. But I'm a business owner. I've seen a lot. I've run a business for a while and I've seen different kind of shege. So when I'm talking from experience, not because I am being negative. Do you understand? So 2022 January, when I wanted to do my pricing, I asked myself, what's the worst thing that can happen to dollar this year? That was January. As at that time, dollar was 560. I told myself the worst thing that can happen is dollar to naira exchange rate would become 1,000 from 560, maybe by December. The worst thing that can happen is 1,000. Guess what? I did my pricing with 1,000 with the worst in mind. So as the dollar price was increasing during the year, people were like, dollar has increased though. La 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 la. I did not run a loss because I did my calculation with what's the worst thing that can happen to dollar. What's the worst? Okay, let's benchmark our prices with that because personally, I made up my mind that I don't want to be increasing my price every 3 months. My price increase would be yearly every December. So before I price January, I have to ask myself, what's the worst thing that can happen before we get to that December? So I would not see the worst on the way and I would not be like, oh my God, there's an increase. I want to increase price again. Do you get it? I really like what this will help you to know this video is valuable and push it out to more people that need to see this content. Thank you. So yeah, 2023, before I priced my products again, I increased my price. I asked myself, what's the worst thing that can happen? I said, okay, the worst is 1,005. I benchmark my price with that. You have to prepare for the worst so that you would not run at loss. Else, you don't have maximum profit. You just be hearing it. You may not feel it. A particular reason why I do not like increasing my price back to back is because I run adverts 365 days of 365 days. So there are ads that I run for 6 months straight. I do not want a situation where I would have the ad that's performing well for me, and because of price, I have to go and stop the ad, then start again. Because once I increase price, I have to set my ads afresh. I do not want to go through that stress. Once the ad is performing, I leave it, run away, just run, and serve me for like 4 months. I can stop it and start it back if I wish to. So I do not want to be controlled by price. I do not like it when I buy something from a brand, January, you said it's 4,000, and I'm coming back by June is now 7,000. Like that kind of increase in the space of 4 months, I do not feel comfortable with it, and a lot of people do not. Am I saying do not increase your price? Please increase your price, but increasing your price 3 months pursues customer away. Yes. To grow your business, you have to actively think of the worst that can happen, so you prepare for it so that you will not continue increasing your price. It is not good for business. I know what you buy is what you sell. That's what I'm saying. You have to have a strategy when it comes to pricing. Don't just buy for 10,000 and say, okay, I will sell for 11,000. This is not to make maximum profit. It is important to look for your cheapest alternative to bring in your goods at the best cost. From your delivery route to your factory suppliers, your logistics company and all that, you have to look for the best deal. Cost packaging, your paper bag, everything you are using to run your business, you have to check how you can buy it at the cheapest cost. The first time I brought in my goods through sea shipping, it came and I was like, what? Like, I cleared a goods of, I think was my first shipping company, I think I bought goods worth 1.1 million, thereabouts. Like 1.1 million. I was clearing it with how much? On a norms, if you bring in your goods through flight, you would clear with more than half. So if you buy goods of 1 million and you brought it through here, for the kind of business me I do, prepare to clear within 500 to 600,000, more than half, between 50 to 60% of cost prices. How much I use in clearing. So that was the first time I was bringing in my good truth. I said, okay, let me even try see for the first time because the business was growing. I was having more goods and I was clearing back to back flights. It was choking me. So I said, okay, let me try see. I cleared the goods of 1.1 million for about, I think, 130,000 or thereabouts. And I was like, what? On a normal day, for the kind of business that I do, when I buy goods of, say, 500,000, for instance, I have to start keeping 50 to 60% of the cost price to clear the goods. So for 500K, I have to start keeping between 300,000. Most times it's even above 60, maybe 62% to clear the goods, which was really choking. So I did not have an idea of how much it's going to cost me to clear that goods of 1.1 million. So I've been saving, like, I knew it was cheaper, but that was my first time, obviously. And I was shocked. Like, what? Do I need to tell you that I would make more profit? Because I've been able to save up to 400,000 naira. So then when I was selling bags, I see people sell something. I'm like, how are these people selling this thing? Because by the time I do my cost price, total landing cost, I'll see a bag that total landing cost is 5,000. Some people are selling it for that same 5,000. I'm like, and these people, is it like they are robbing this bag? So make sure you get best prices for your product and you bring them in, the shipping, your raw material, better bargain. Ask people. When I wanted to bring in my goods through C, I have to ask people, oh, what do you know about this? Can you help me? And be ready to pay. Stop looking for free. In fact, the person that puts me through for sea shipping, we are in the same importation group. We learned importation together at a time. And it was like, he's not going to collect money, you just guide me and all that. But when my goods came, I sent him airtime because he was not ready to collect anything. So I'm like, okay, let me send you airtime. He said, no, he doesn't want. I just copied his number and sent him airtime because obviously he wasn't going to collect money. It was just like Abana, we did. But I don't like abusing relationship because we really tried for the whole sea shipping thing. It was like goods can get missing for shipping. For sea shipping, it's different from air. You have to have up to this kg to be able to ship. You have to do this. Like, it just did the whole thing for me and it made it easy for me. So if you have to learn, please learn so that you can bring in your goods at a more cheaper price. So the more you're able to beat down your overhead cost and all that, the more profit you would make. That is how they make big profits in business. So if you do sales from time to time, make sure there is allowance for sales. If you know you would be doing sales, if you buy something for 10,000, you sell it for 12,500. Now in sales time, you're selling it for 10,500. It doesn't make sense. So if you are doing sales, put that at the back of your mind. I'll be doing sales Valentine, December, and all that. So let this reflect in your initial price. So even if you do sales, you'll still get some profit at the end of the day. Or just do sales on new arrivals when you want to do sales. No one know the initial price. Just say they was 15K, now 11,500. Everyone actually does this. They do it on Jumia, they do it everywhere. So you can do it. Ask yourself, how many percent do you want to use it selling for wholesalers if you have wholesalers, for direct users? For wholesalers, 30 to 40% is advisable. If you buy something for 7,000 for your wholesalers, you sell for them for 10,000 because they keep coming back and you're not spending more money to advertise to get new people. So they come back, and you enjoy them. So the prices should not be too high because they are also reselling. So you can put 2,000 to 5, 3,000, depending on what you are selling. So for your wholesalers, I have wholesalers that have been buying since 2018 when I was selling bags and shoes. Now I'm selling the gift item, they still come and they still buy. Do you understand? And they sell. So wholesalers 30% is quite fair to 40%. Direct user 50% to 100%. I would not tell you what I use to benchmark my direct user is my business. So direct users, it depends on what you are selling. It depends on your niche. There's some niche that you can do 100%. Nobody's gonna know. They would not know. But there are some niche that you can only do like 50%. Even that 50%, your product would still look pricey. So it depends on your niche, how profitable your niche is. I have this video on the pricing strategy and I broke it down on different things you have to consider before you price your product, how they can affect it, the different, like, I broke the calculations down to help you profit in business. Click here, watch and enjoy. Thank you for watching. I'll definitely see you in my next video. Bye.